Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing great, and today I wanted to show you 3 relaxing sci-fi games that are scheduled for release in July that I thought you might like and consider buying. Now I say wanted because there has been a development only yesterday with the 3rd game as I was working on this video, so I had to alter my plan, but more on that later on. Now let's go take a look at number 1 of easygoing sci-fi games to play on a hot summer evening. And that's Breachway, a roguelike deck builder game in which you have to defeat enemy spaceships in turn-based combat and along the way expand your card deck to gain more powerful abilities and combos. Should you not be too familiar with the label roguelike, you basically start all over again when you die. Now I can't be sure yet until after release, but I read somewhere on Steam that the game lets you keep cards and upgrades with each run, technically making this a roguelite instead of a roguelike, but it's only when you want to be precise. Now I'll save that distinction for the more extended review. Now you might be familiar with this type of game already because there are many games out there that look like this, having turn-based combat and cards, either on mobile or PC. So what makes this game different? I've spent some time with the game and at first glance it does look like one of those typical card battlers. However, there's more depth to this game than you should think beforehand. You start out each run with a ship to your choosing out of the ones that you've unlocked. Your ship isn't just an avatar, but each one has its own configuration for modules, which brings with it specific cards. For instance, you might control a ship with a pulse laser system, so then you get different kinds of pulse laser cards. And that's the fun with card games, or maybe, TCGs, CCGs, trading card games, collectible. But in this game, you don't get to build a deck before you start doing missions. You get to choose and add new cards to your deck after you've won a battle, so you gradually expand your deck. Now the way combat works is neatly designed, with a resource system consisting of 3 categories. As you use a card, or as you deploy a card, you spend some of those resources, and with each turn you gain some new points. Now this income can be influenced by upgrading your ship, allowing for more actions per turn over time as you progress through the game. Your ship also has a crew, and depending on what members you have on there, with different traits to each of them, they will also influence your overall effectiveness. As you can see from me playing this demo here, Breachway has a distinct art style that reminds me somewhat of Borderlands. I already got sucked into it, spending too much time testing the game instead of making this video, and I guess that's one of the strengths of this game. You can quickly just play a few missions if you're short on time, or spend your entire Sunday afternoon playing it. Now it's scheduled to come out somewhere in July at a price yet unknown, but I don't expect this title to go over 40 bucks. So if you want to try it out for yourself, the demo is still available over on Steam, and I'll put the link in the description below. The next title is The Crust, a colony builder sim set on the moon in which you have to build a fully fledged moon base both on the surface and below it. There are entire logistical chains to be set up and colonists to manage, but also the home front back on Earth has to be taken into account. Some time ago I already made a first look video about The Crust when I played the demo. Should you want to watch that as well, I'll make the link appear above here on top of your screen. But since then this game has been advancing rapidly on the development front. The devs have been working hard on all sorts of new features, such as a concept for a combat system, an expanded market module, in-depth management of settlers, or colonists I should say, and an overhaul of the conveyor belt system. Now there has also been a Kickstarter campaign in which many of the stated goals have been met thanks to the many backers the game has received. Meanwhile, the game will go out on July 15th in early access. Here are some good looking images of the gameplay, and as you can see it's a nice looking game, and at first glance it looks like a pretty standard builder sim. This gives the game an extra layer of missions to focus on in addition to the main storyline, which by the way should prove to do a lot for you in terms of immersion according to the developers. A lot of attention has been paid to the management system of your colonists, who can be individually assigned certain tasks based on their profile and skill, which also gives the game some more depth. Now there's also a nice mechanic that allows you to explore the moon, rovers who you can send out on missions, which in turn bring in certain rewards and storyline progression. Now, I can recommend the game to anyone who loves this kind of colony builder sims, and I have not been able to think of any major negative points based on my time in the demo and what I have gone through online on Discord or any forums. Game number 3, that should have been Frostpunk 2, because I thought when it's so hot when you're gaming, for example, I'm sitting here in 80 degrees Fahrenheit or about 27 degrees Celsius, it helps to keep cool, and what better way to do that than just staring at a snowy landscape the entire time when you're gaming. At least that was the idea. That would have been fine with Frostpunk 2 were it not for the news that only came out yesterday that 11-Bit Studios, the developer and publisher for this game, they stated that the release date would be postponed from July 25th all the way back to September 20th in order for them to have some more time to dot the proverbial I's and cross the T's. Now, as a result, this game doesn't fit in the concept of this video to be admired in the next few weeks, and we'll have to wait a little bit longer for this title to appear. Which of these titles seem fun to you, or do you think I missed a title important to you? Let me know in a comment. If you've enjoyed this video, click like to support it, that's always highly appreciated. This is also the perfect time to subscribe, because I will bring more upcoming titles to your attention through my first look and hands-on gameplay videos. For example, Star Wars Outlaws here or Star Miner here. Thanks a lot for watching this video. See you later guys, and until then, have fun gaming and take care.